Look at that.
Hey, I'd like to stick it to that.
Oh, I'm in love. Harry Potter, man. And you know what, man? Today's a perfect day for what? Elbow tennis.
Have you pressed record? Hello, and welcome to Moviecide UK. I'm Bane.
You sound like Vader.
Oh, Ben, you sneaked into the podcasts again.
Good evening and welcome to Mass Moviecide UK episode number 9 with special guest Bane.
Special, we mean special.
Aye, special needs. This week's episode is courtesy of Jack McGregor, who suggested these films that we're going to be doing this evening. Before we go ahead, just to say, have a wee deeks at Mass Moviecide. They're at massmovieside.com. They're also on Facebook, Twitter, Stitcher as well. Everywhere. YouTube's now. They're on there. So it's myself, Trevor. To my left, I've got
Mark.
And to my right, I've got
Smith.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, Roy.
Look at that guy.
Hello, I'm here. It's me. I just nipped out for a slash.
Alright then, thanks, Bane.
No problem.
So this evening we're going to do two gang-related films.
Not Gangnam.
Not Gangnam related films. Gang films. Pod Gang Bang Nang. We're doing The Warriors and The Wanderers. Warriors and Wanderers. That
They
was.
are different entities.
Very different entities. Again, thank you to Jack for suggesting those. And before we do go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about the films, we do need to sound the new Master Sounds Funk Spoiler Alert, so you'll be hearing that playing in the background as I tap my ash. Ash from my faggot eating. What? So that's going to be playing in the background. Please go and watch these films because we are going to spoil them a bit. Get them watched, then come and listen to this awesomely funny podcast.
And watch much more films, because basically we spoil a lot of films.
Just what, like Smith said in the review of 2012, watch everyone. Because we'll reference everyone. So I think we were going first for The Wanderers, is that right?
Yeah.
Now, here we go. Wanderers was 1979, as was The Warriors. So Smith, who anyway, directed by Philip Kaufman, who had actually, he's got quite a couple of good writing credits, by the way. He's writer on Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah.
He was one of the writers for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Director of The Right Stuff, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and also Quills.
Favorite Lightness of Being was pants, but
Quite
Right Stuff was good. I liked Right
quite a
Stuff.
varied resume.
That's very good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, heading up the cast, we had Ken Weil as Richie Gennaro, John Friedrich as Joey Capra, the lovely Karen Allen, Mrs. Indiana Jones as Nina Becker, Tony Callum as Despy Galasso, Alan Rosenberg as Toiki, Jim Youngs as Buddy Bursolino, also Dean Youngblood's big brother. Alright. Love a bit Youngblood. And Erlen Van Lith.
Yeah.
God rest you, sir, as Terra.
Strangely, I mean, from my research on this, I just said to Gary before this, the only thing I wrote, I must have been in a hurry, says opera singing dead fat guy from Stir Crazy. So, unfortunately, you know, big kudos for him. Anyway, I only wrote that because I was in a hurry.
That's very disrespectful.
He's not going to batter me now, he's dead.
Right.
Harsh.
Real harsh, mate. That's
I
real
liked
harsh.
that. I liked that. It's just I must have wrote that in a hurry when I was
I was
writing
actually
the research.
looking him up on Wikipedia and see the amount of shit he's done.
He's an opera singer.
He was like related to like the royal family. Or he was
Really?
kind of in the royal bloodline for like Holland. And it's like, what?
I'm not a royalist, so I don't care.
This is another country's royal family. So.
Still don't care. They're parasites.
Anyway, what happens in The Wanderers, Mark? What's the plot?
Guns. Guns, eh? Basically, it's set in 1963 in Brooklyn. But it does feel, you probably agree with this, I think we were talking about that just before the podcast, the music has more of a 50s feel to it. It's hanging over from that.
Most deaf.
But, you know, as we were kind of talking about as well, it's a transitional teen coming of age kind of thing. But it's also an era in, I think, the 50s rock and roll eras, in at the end you have Dylan, obviously, can put in there. So there's that feel. It's about, what's his name, Richie?
It is Richie.
Ken Waller's Richie's, the story is sort of kind of focuses on him and the changes in his life, and he gets his girlfriend pregnant. He's in the gang of Wanderers, and there's many other gangs in this area of Brooklyn for some reason. Like there's the Wongs, there's the Baldies, there's, I was almost going to say
what other gangs?
There's just too many to mention.
Well, I kind of noticed, like with what you're saying there, it's dealing with a lot of issues like racial tension, sex, grown up, loyalty, and just some bad juju at home. For I think it was it was Joey's dad.
Joey's overly muscle bound, alcoholic shagging dad.
Aye, nice of him. Well, I kind of first time I ever watched this, so I've got no kind of frame of reference before it. I just knew she was going to get up the duff when she's getting pumped on that chair.
Right,
knew it. Fucking knew it. You're going to be pregnant.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer when you see that at the beginning. When you think, especially for this era, the late 70s, early 80s, with the coming age stuff. You know, the complication.
And I foresaw Turkey getting smoked as well. I knew, just because he was sort of transitional between two gangs, and he was a wee bit off the rails, I just kind of saw him buying the fun. And I was like, fuck you died, you dick.
It was a kind of odd way in which he died, do you not think so?
Aye. And what
do you think, Gary?
I liked the bit when the unicorn turned up.
the bit where he opened up the Matrix.
I didn't expect him to get
to like the darkest hour. That bit.
But just a bit where he's kind of pissed off because the Baldies kind of left him. Kind of the Wanderers hanging there, runs off, and then what's that? The other gang's name, the loonies that can turn up.
The Baldies.
No, they're ones.
Oh,
they're almost supernatural in the way
they fucking right they were. Let me just double check here.
That's the way they disappeared, didn't it? Kind of just turned out the smoke, and they're kind of look like much the rest of them. We see quiffs in that bit. They had like bruises and scars and stuff, which differentiates them.
The Ducky Boys.
The Ducky Boys. What a hard sounding name for such a sinister group of individuals.
I think if you've got over fucking 1,000 members, you can get away with a shit name.
Got yourself clown shoes, and there's no going to matter, is it?
And what hit me in the face was like how like the teacher nearly incited a riot in the classroom. Just so that
let's have all those racial nicknames. We're not going to go into them here, but you know the usuals. The N word was dropped fairly early on.
Too right it was, and it was like holy
many
shit.
Others.
And it was obviously quite good to see them get past that.
Was he screaming at them when he's trying to separate them after he's caused the shit? No, brotherly love harmony. You're like, oh, somebody hit him in the face.
Sorry, you've just fucking incited the riot, you prick.
I mean, they're getting on quite well before that, and of course they get on well later on, but that doesn't help.
What a shithole of school! It's a school as well. I was like, this doesn't look like any kind of high school I've ever seen. I don't know what American high schools are like. I didn't go to them a lot, but
Buckman High was a dump, but it wasn't as bad as that.
It just seemed very.
American high schools on Hill Valley.
Aye, that's a beautiful high school. Greatest high school on earth.
Strickland was always bored.
Fact. I've got to say, this movie, visually, it was kind of a wee bit of a sledgehammer. Because I think there's a time where they're all out in the car, and I honestly thought they'd crashed and died. Because when they go like the wrong side of the tracks, remember when they're out
they're out cruising.
They're out cruising, and then like they end up just driving through the smoke-laden kind of scenery. It was like
every time there's a Ducky Boys. The Ducky Boys.
Hello.
And they're supposed to look sinister and that. That's what happens.
The Ducky Boys,
as you say,
the
drive through. Thanks, mate. And they drive through this mist, and all of a sudden the Ducky Boys are just hanging about.
Aye.
And it's like, there's another big clump of them. They were like moss. They're just hanging out. It's the mist, The mist creates damp, and the moss grows in the damp. The Ducky Boys were the moss. Alright, I'm a Ducky Boy. Alright, I'm a Ducky Boy, I'm gonna fuck.
And again, it's the like the same with Turkey as well when he's running about. Because these Ducky Boys, like, they're based
And they're
Well,
on
I thought it was
church.
a very organised gang there, because that was all to do with a
Yeah.
gang hideout, and like this guy's sort of preaching to them.
See,
And
to me, that's like in a place like Brooklyn. Obviously, you've got the mix.